Hello and welcome back to Step Up. Sorry to keep you waiting folks, few technical problems, but we are back and up and running. So, what do we have this week? I have a whole bunch of different things lined up for you. Some maybe new things, some old things, some different things maybe you've tried before, a wee remix of some previous ideas and different things, just so that, especially for our new people who've just joined us, that we don't go racing ahead at all times. But I'll try and give you options, and we'll have to have different options to do with space, flooring and all sorts of stuff like that. So we'll just adapt and try and see how we go as we go along. Alright, brilliant folks. So first of all, the main thing to think about is, of course, you're in your own environment, so I can't see what's going on while you're there. But safety first, we have to keep an eye on our space. Make sure you have enough space on either side. This is quite a small space, so I'm going to have to keep it quite contained on moves that go to the side. I can maybe reach out and touch the wall there and the edge of my furniture there, so I don't have a lot of room. And if you're the same, then you're just going to have to try and keep it all small. So I'm keeping that in mind for you guys too. Alright, next thing to think about, I suppose, is space this way as well. Make sure you've got plenty of space in all directions. So if you can do this, you should probably be alright. If you're finding you don't have a lot of space, then maybe just stick to some of the standing steps or some of the more detailed parts of this class, and you can catch up with other things later on in the lesson. So where should we go to first? I think, after that, I think then floor space. So your floor surface, not your floor space. So into I've got a nice laminate floor, it's quite smooth and slidey. So allow me to knock out a few different spins and things like that, for example. No problem in here, but if you have a carpet, you might have to just adjust things. You might get one spin or half a spin, or maybe you just need to on your carpet use your hands to help you go around with your feet and things like that. So if you make a small adjustment to help you as you go along. Cool, I hope that makes sense. With that in mind, one of the guys who first trained me is a legendary b-boy from Scotland, and he's now travelling all over the world, still performing to this day with the legendary Cuban Brothers. I don't know if you've ever heard of those guys. He used to tell me when he was practicing back in the day that he would practice in their little community centre, and they got used to dancing on a certain kind of floor. And eventually they went off to big competitions in Germany, and they arrived at this big dance studio, and everyone there who was practicing had been practicing in that studio, so they were used to that floor, and it turned out to be really slidey and dusty, so they weren't able to do any of the footwork moves they'd been practicing, because they kept slipping and sliding all over the place, and they just struggled to keep up with the dancers who were used to that surface. So what you need to think about at all times is to change how you dance to different floor surfaces. So if it's on carpet, if it's on grass, if you're outside, if you're inside, make those changes. Certain moves might not work, but other moves will work perfectly. So just have a think about what's going on around you and be aware of that. Watch out for things like this, corners, sharp edges, anything, bits of furniture that are sticking out, okay? So again, keep that nice and close to you, and hopefully everything will be alright for that. So next thing, something we talk about in class all the time, and you guys are pretty good at it in my class, I have to say. Make sure you've got these on, your trainers, alright? Dancing around with socks on this might be fun in the house, but as soon as I do a spin in here, I'm just going to go flying and hit the wall or smack my head. So I don't want that. The hospitals are busy right now, so I guess you'll be in queue forever if you bump your head. So try and avoid all of that stuff. We're just here to have fun and keep moving and stay fit and healthy and not get any injuries. So with that in mind, you might also want to put on your knee pads. Get these out, make sure you have these ready for any moves that we do on our knees, which won't be too many, but again, it just saves bumping your knees on the floor. If you haven't seen these before, I talk about them all the time in class. You can pick them up on eBay and things like that for like £5, £6, £7, £8, that sort of thing. Like a soft foam spongy knee pad. This one's an old pair, but you can get any various different brands, volleyball, dance ones, sports ones, but make sure they're the soft ones, not the hard plastic like skateboarding. Alright, so we've got all our equipment ready, we're safe. Oh, and over here I've got a glass of water, so make sure you've got something to drink, so if you get it hot and everything else, you can just press pause on here, take a quick drink and come straight back once you're ready. Alright, I think that is everything, so let's get started. We're going to have a quick warm up, alright, so we need to get the blood pumping, get that energy going, try and get it off the couch wherever you are and get the heart rate going so that we can get blood, oxygen to all the muscles so we can get everything ready without injuries. Alright, so we'll start off nice and easy like this. We're just going to stand feet shoulder width apart like so, and we're just going to start marching on the spot. And I'm just going to do it in time. The music we have here, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. Alright, I'm keeping my toes on the floor as you can see. I'll turn it sideways so you can see how that looks as I push my knee forward. I'm up on my toe. And I'm just shifting my weight onto each foot as I land. 1, 2. So it's just slightly side to side. Nice little march. Get the weight on each heel as you land. Alright, let's see if we can go double time. And 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Good. Alright, back to here. Gonna lift the knees slightly. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Feel free to use the arms if you've got space. Alright, we're going to take it up to jog. And we can take that forward a bit. And back if you have the space. Alright, and run. And we go back to jogging. And we're going to just take it back to steps. Alright, so these steps really going to like exaggerate them, squash them up. Try and bring your knees up to your opposite elbow almost. And we'll really lift those knees. That's it. Let's go down. Alright, and just go back to marching. 2, 7, 8. Alright, we're going to twist your heel now. So when we come up the toe, we're going to twist your heel out like that. And then put it back down. And same on the other side. 1, 2. If you want to use the arms, do that as well, alright? Again, I'm just keeping the time of that beat there. And let's go double time. 1, 2. I can hear that DJ scratching, so I'm just going to copy him with my hands. I can add to the style of the moves. Feel free to improvise and add things of your own as you go. Alright. Let's go. Alright. So, can we take that for a walk? Alright, and we're just going to take it back to some slow marching. Just twist. Perfect. Alright, so give your ankles a little shake, your knees a little shake, hips and shoulders and your head. Hopefully we're feeling a wee bit warmer. So we've got a couple more to go. We're going to do a few jumping jacks and a few boom back bounces. So, what's a jumping jack? These ones, like this, or we can take them all the way up to the top if you feel adventurous as well. So let's just try a few of those. Excellent. Alright, so next one, what did I say was boom back bounces? So, what are they? So we're going to just bend your knees, jump across, and then I'm going to lean out to the side and kick. And then back to the middle. Alright, so I go. Sorry, hold on, let's turn this one down a little bit. Another song, why not? So actually I made a small mistake, don't cross here. What we're just going to do is jump to the side and land on the leg that you're going into that direction. The other one just jumps in the air and then back again. This leg. So this one splits out like that, as if you're doing a jumping jack but landing on one leg. Does that make sense? This thing, try it again. So we jump to the side, side. So come in small and explode out like a star. Small, boom, boom, boom. Alright, we'll take the music. 1, 2. Excellent. Alright, so here we go. What do we have next? So, let's try a few burpees. I'm starting to get warm in this tiny room, so hopefully you'll feel it too. We'll do a few more and then we'll get started with a little routine we have planned. So, some burpees. I'm going to do them slightly differently. So we're going to jump up, down, jump out, up, and then change direction. And we'll do it that way, that way, that way, back to the front. We'll go that way, that way, that way, that way, back to the front again. Hopefully that should give us at least 8 different ones. So, I hope that makes sense. So we're going to like that, jump up, jump down, jump back, jump in, one burpee, okay? So here we go, one up, and then we'll go round, that way I said, so we go 5, 6, 7, 8, up, down, and. Alright, this time let's do them with a real big jump. Just sort of marking them through there so you can see directions. I wasn't really jumping that time, so already big jump and then back and ready. Here we go. And the other way. Awesome. Getting there. Alright, so we're going to do a few, what do we call them? Top rock steps. A couple of top rock steps just to finish up. Slow us down a little bit. We'll finish our warm up. Definitely getting warm already. If you need to stop, have a quick drink, press pause, and we'll see you in a second. Cool. So, last thing we're going to look at is a couple of standing steps. We have the patchy step. This is one of breakdance's earliest standing top rock style steps. And it kind of originates from a style of dance called rocking, which comes slightly before breakdance, slightly before top rock. So, it's a really, really old school step. So we're just going to be using that to get us started off. Getting warm. Alright, we won't do many more of these because I am roasting already. Here we go. Step, step, like that. So we're going to step forward, 1, together, 2. 1, 2. Like that, okay? So these are like little mini lunges. Think of a lunge being all the way down here. And you think of a toe tap, meaning that. It's neither of those, it's somewhere in between. So we lift our weight, we fall forward and we stop. And we bounce back off your foot, come back. Like that. And if you watch, it's this part of my foot I'm landing on. Ha. Ha. So if you see I lift my foot, I lean my weight forward and stop here. Does that make sense? It's a small little bounces like that. Now swing my arms back for balance, I guess, mostly, but it's just kind of the style as well. So got this as we go So hands continue to swing back. As you step forward, together as your feet come together. Out, 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 in, sorry. Out, in, out. So we have. So let's just try 8 of these. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice one. So let's finish that up with an actual lunge, alright? So we're going to stretch out the muscles a bit more. Take that into full lunge. There we go. Alright, brilliant. Quick little stretch for the head. And if you want to go a bit further, if you're still feeling flexible after all these days on the couch, you can take it to here. And we'll just keep stretching. Or elbows, we can take it all the way down for a big stretch all the way here, okay? Awesome. Alright, swapping sides. I'll turn this sideways so you can see really what I'm doing properly. This way. So I'm in the full lunge position, hands are on the inside of my foot, and my elbows are coming down to where my hands were. Alright, cool. So we're going to jump out, and we're going to lean onto one side, so we're going to sit on your ankle, like this. And I'm just going to stretch out your foot all the way to the side. I'm going to try and reach your toe, like so. And if you can stretch that out a bit further, make that a bigger stretch. Keep hold of that toe there. And this arm or elbow can keep your knee nice and wide on this side. So we're going to hands on the floor, to the middle. And we swap sides. Cool. I'm going to grab this toe here. That stretch out. How are we doing, folks? You still with me? Cool. Alright, we're nearly done the stretches, so don't worry if you're getting a bit bored of all this, but you're going to safety first, of course, so we're going to go to the middle and hands on the floor, and we'll take it like this. And maybe if you've got space, you can try and take a little bit of a box split there, stretch out the inside of the legs, and we can bring them back in. Alright, now see these hands, they're going to go back behind you. Roll it, perfect. And then we're just going to go once on this side, once more, reach for there, once more. Alright, cool. Perfect. So that last thing to add to that is Charlie walks. So same as the Apache steps, we have Charlie walks, alright? So Apache steps only kind of really go forward. You're kind of stepping into the circle to do your dance. So Charlie walks kind of come from 1920s, Charleston, 1920s, not 2020s. So 100 odd years ago, when they were doing the Charleston as a kind of the social dance of the day. So it's more circular. You'll have seen it, or you can Google it and have a look for it. You can find out about the Charleston. But Charlie Walk is borrowed from that idea, so we kind of make it a bit more angular and sharp, a bit faster and a bit more direct, less of this. Alright, so we have the Charlie Walks as well, so let's just try a couple of those. 1, 2. 1, 2. So stepping forward on 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and so just swap sides. If we try the other side first. Alright, we want to take that a bit faster. Cool, last one. Cool. Alright, so that's it for the warm up. So, I'm hoping you're feeling warm. I definitely am. Might do a little bit less next time just because of the space we have. Of course, if you're not feeling warm yet, press rewind and come back and replay some of these wee pieces we've done already. Plus, you should Remember some of the stretches and other exercises we do in class all the time. I haven't got time to do all of them today, and I'll try to do some different ones next time as well. So have a think about that and have a little talk through the memory bank and see what you've got there before we continue. Alright, cool. So excellent. So let me grab a quick drink of water. I'm guessing you're doing the same. So it's very quiet in here without you lot. I know you're there, Shay, Lily, all that lot, Leon, how are you doing? It's very quiet here, so I guess maybe I'll get more done than usual, or maybe less, who knows, I'll have less ideas from you guys. Anyway, so on to the next section. We're going to do some stretches, you know how it works. So we're going to think about it. Again, like the last section, we might skip through some parts, miss some areas. Maybe you need to concentrate on if you've been sitting on the couch too long, your legs are getting sore. But the best way to think about it when you're doing stretches on your own, as far as I'm concerned, is think about the nursery rhyme: head, shoulders, knees and toes. So we're going to start at your head and we're going to work our way all the way down your body till we reach your toes. So thinking about each body part separately: head, neck, shoulders, arms, hands and wrists. Then we've got the back, chest, lower back, hips, legs, knees, shoulders, toes, head, shoulder, you know what I mean, right? So we're going to work all the way down. So if we miss any area as we go through just now, add in what we do in class from your memory, press pause and continue, and we will get on with it from there. Alright, thanks. We'll pop on and we'll crack on with that. So we'll start, as we said, from the head. So, just taking the head, I'm just going to gently bring it forward and back, and forward and back, and then just to one side, just bring your ear towards your shoulder, and then same on this side, nothing crazy, just gently waking up the neck a little bit, and then bringing it forward. Alright, and we're just going to gently go from one side and roll gently through the front, again nothing crazy, and to the other side. And just wake up that neck a little bit. Cool, we don't want to do too much and let your head fly off, so we're going to move on to your shoulders. So, starting off just with simple shoulder circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and forward. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Swap arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. Alright, we're going to take your hands on your shoulders, get the elbows out, chicken wing style. We're just going to draw back circles with the elbows all the way around like that. 6, 7, 8. Away. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. Just tapping the elbows together. We're just going to flap these wings and make sure we've got the shoulders all ready. Alright, cool. So it will gently open and close. Pushing one arm over each time, swapping sides. And we'll just do a little tap on the shoulders at the back. Here and here, just so that we're getting all the way out. And here at the sides, we're trying to go back past the middle point here, as much as you can, right? So all the way from there out to here. Excellent. Alright, so give your hands and wrists a little shake. We're just going to take your arms up and over, point up to the top corner of the ceiling right there, and we're just going to go straight to the side. Alright? If you want to take your hand that way, you can do that. Some people like to hold it or support the knee, whatever works for you, but really feel that stretch to the other side. Go! And 2, here we go. Flat back, flat arms. bring them into your ears like so, and then coming forward. Excellent, and coming up. Once more, alright, and we're just going to take that in and up and over to the toe. Nice and slow, so we get the hands over there and back up. We're going to bring up the head last, alright, so we're going to go up and over, dive into the toes. Here we go. Alright, bringing up your head, get your chin tucked in right till the end and up. Alright, cool. So, once more, going over. Last time. Alright, oh, I should have done it this week. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, we're going to bend your knees, we're going to walk forward. And we're going to walk back. Alright, and this time we're going to try 2 press ups. All the way down, all the way up, and down. So just warming up the wrists a little bit here, and we're going to go for seal, so just drop the hips, and then arch that back. Cool, alright, so we're just going to sit on your ankles. Excellent. Alright, so bringing it forward. Nearly done, folks, so we'll do a couple of these. So I know it seems like it takes ages to do all these stretches, but it takes so much longer to recover from an injury. 6 months or a year with your knee strapped up and your ankle strapped up is not worth it just for an extra few minutes doing this. So stay with me, we've got all the time in the world at the moment, folks. It's worth it because over time you get all the way here. You spend a bit of time every single day, and we have a lot of time, so it's really cool actually to see if any of you guys who are feeling a bit stuck here today or during this term, maybe over the next few weeks, if we're doing a little bit this every day, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, we can over time, maybe by the next time we see you guys, you'll be here or here, or hopefully all the way there. So, one other wee technique we can think about with that, I don't really have enough space here, but put your feet against the wall and use your hands to push your hips forward, and it forces your feet back a little bit wider. Again, don't go till it's painful, just till you can feel it stretching, and that should just hold that like that. Just go like your ankle twisting. I've got a radiator here, but moving forward like that. Cool. So, very last time we're going to stretch the wrists. Give them a quick circle and stretch. I hope you're feeling ready and ready to rock. Alright, so we're going to move on and we're going to have a wee attack on this routine from here to you over there. So we're going to start with a bit of top rock. You try and keep it as simple as possible. Again, remember, like I said earlier, if you don't have enough space, change your move, cut a move out, add a little piece or take a bit away if you need to try and just keep up or fit in with what we've got. Don't worry if it's slightly longer or shorter, at least you're doing it. So the main thing we're going to start with is standing steps, as we always do. And we're going to look at one of our little, this one. What's it called? Called? Good, yes, the cross step. So we're going to look at the cross step, one foot crossing in front of the other, right? Like this. So again, like the Apache step, but up on your toes. See how my heels are off the floor? And the same with the cross step, right? So if I show you it sideways, and then come back, and like this. So my knees are slightly bent. So it's kind of bouncy. I think a couple of you will be bored of hearing this, but you know, the idea of it being like a boxer, where you're up on your feet and you can move around really quickly because you're up on your toes, alright? If that was flat foot, it's a lot harder. It doesn't look as good, right? But with a bit more comedy, but that's the idea, right? So we want to be nice and light on your feet so that we can take your cross step and move it quite easily around your space without tiring yourself out, alright? So, plus it just looks better. So I want to avoid toe tap, try and avoid that. The heel one's quite nice sometimes, like the Japanese, old school Japanese way. If you look at really early videos from the 1990s and 80s of Japanese breakdance, they tended to use the heel quite a lot. Maybe just lost in translation on seeing the videos, but that was kind of the style they rocked. But early New York styles tends to be up on the toes, boxer styles. Alright, so we're going to look for a cross step here. Might as well just practice that. We do have all day after all. So cross step, especially for new people like Carter and Jamie and people like that, Rory especially. I think you've just joined us really recently. So I just want to cover these in a bit more detail, maybe without the distraction of chat of all sorts of other people, that we can see really clearly what I'm doing. Don't forget you can ask questions as well, and we'll try and as best we can to answer those as well. So we're going to do two of those, one that way, one that way. We repeat the same, going backwards. So we've got a forward cross step and a backwards cross step, alright? So if you can see in here, what can I use? I guess I've got this pen here and this pair of socks, right? So I can mark out that and that as these two spaces here where I'm doing my cross step, right? What else have we got here? Alright, I've got a measuring tape and a clock, right? So we now have a nice square, right? And I am right in the middle of that square. So when I'm doing my cross step, I'm hitting the two outer corners of this square. Does that make sense? And when we go back the way, I'm tapping these corners here, right? So maybe this square is a little bit small for certain top rocks, but you get the idea. So what we can do here, maybe if you find a few socks and pens and things like that lying around, is to make yourself a little square to stand in and just keep your shape like that. So now you can practice with it slightly bigger and see if you can make your cross step fill out a wider space. Does that make sense? And then we could go really wide. Obviously, we have the wall of the furniture, so don't go crazy, but again, bang in the middle. And now we're going to have like huge, crazy top rocks, alright? So you want to adjust things accordingly to the size of space that you have, or how much space you want to take up on stage when you're performing, right? Sometimes it's nice to get small and then go really big and then back to small again, right? Fill out lots of different area in this space, right? So it makes it more interesting to watch. So anyway, this is what we've got here, and we're going to call that one count of 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now watch, I'm doing flat feet at the moment just to kind of show you the positions. But once we get into it, we'll keep up off the heels off the ground, and we'll get into the proper kind of cross step like that. So that's the first 4 steps, 8 counts. So I'm just going to do this stuff right away. So I'll kick it all and end up injuring myself like we practiced at the beginning. So here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're only going to do it one time. I just thought we could try it a couple of times just to get used to it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? So cross step, all done. Next up, we're going to add a small circle in here. So we're going to take 6 steps, take this all the way around, and we're going to bring it back to the front. So again, keep it within the space you have, right? Think about it, it's all very well dancing in a certain size of space in your living room, but when we are doing the summer show, the stage is huge, but there's a lot of you. So when you're on the stage, sometimes someone's right here and you can't just spin around, so you have to keep it small. So this is excellent practice for getting used to that. Alright, so where were we? Oh yes, we're going to go round in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to go back that way. 7, and then we're going to jump out 8 and do a little pause right here, alright? I hope you can hear me alright. Turn this down a wee touch. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does that make sense? Here we go, let's try it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. We're done. Alright, one more time, here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 4, 6. Alright, I think I did one extra step, but you know what I'm talking about. I got carried away doing a silly walk there. So last time, here we go. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, here we go. So next up, here we go, section 2. So we're going to add on another little standing section here. And we're going to move on to, what move? Oh yeah, we did this earlier. It's called the Charlie Rock. So hopefully remember it. It's the little Charleston based move that street dance, hip hop, break dance has borrowed. It's the one we were doing in the warm-up, like that. That's why we gave you it today, just so we already have it under your belt a little bit from earlier on if you haven't seen it before. So that's the Charlie Rock. So we're going to just pop in one of those next, right? So we've done our spin, we jump out, we pose, and we're going to take this leg, step it forward, together, back, together. So one of those. Now we're going to kind of repeat the same shape. We're going to do something slightly different. So we're going to come forward, same leg again, we're going to go kick in the air, step it back, step back. So make sure you have enough room for this when you step back here. So we go, alright, did you see it? So we go step, together, kick and back. So when I kick, as I come back, when I go to land, I swap feet and I bring that one back. Don't worry about that too much if it's confusing. Just stick to the forward, back, kick, back. If you get that, it looks much nicer. See if you can add that in. So here we go, 5, 6, 7, 8, forward and back and kick and back. Alright, so with this hand, we're aiming to the floor here. Does that make sense? From the top. Here we go, from the cross step. Are we ready? I hope so. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back. 5, 6, 7, 8. Walk around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spin. 7. Jump. 8. Straight into Charlie Rock. And then the kick back. Alright, so that last kick, we can make it nice and sharp and quick. We can get a surprising entry to the floor, maybe a bit more unexpected, maybe no one sees it coming. Alright, so last time, here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Well done, guys, you're doing really well staying up with me. If you're still here, excellent work. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go around. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, spin 7, and forward and back. Get that kick in and back. Alright, cool. We're done. So that's the standing section finished. We're moving on to the floor, the best bit, as you would think. So we're going to get straight to that next section if you're ready. So if you want to take a quick pause and take a wee quick sip of water, do that now. And we'll carry on in a second. You good? Alright, cool. So we're going to move straight on. Alright, so we're going to take it to, where were we? Drinking water, we were doing the top, top rock, we've done the top rock bit. So we're going to go to the floor, right? So we're just taking our foot back and we're taking our right foot back here. We're going to come in for a knee slide next, right? So I've got a nice smooth floor, it's going to be okay for that in here. Hopefully you've got that or some lino or something in your house. If you don't have a slidey floor or the space, you're going to change it to step through, alright? So if you've done 6 step, it's step number 1 of the 6 step, but we'll explain all that in one little second. Alright, here we go. So we just come, so hand down here, we're going to take that knee, we're going to bend it and pop it on the floor, and we're going to start sliding that knee forward. So use your hand here to kind of lean on, slide that leg through here. It's just where those knee pads come in handy, by the way, earlier on. And we're going to take that leg through there, and then just bring this other one through to here, so we get to a sitting position. Does that make sense? Cool. So I'll show you a bit more smoothly. So we call it a knee slide, but actually we're sliding down the edge of your leg, so it's not actually impacting your knee, hopefully, as much, except maybe just as you put it down to begin with, but it's down the side of the leg. Alright, hopefully you've got that. It's quite an easy one, we do it in class a lot, so hopefully you remember that one, or you should be able to figure that one out. Hopefully we'll do it one more time. Here we go. Shall I turn it round? Yeah. Here we go. So, from here we go. Forward and back and hand down, flat hand, slide through. Alright, getting a bit sweaty from that big warm up, so it's a little harder to slide today as it was earlier on, but then you get the idea. So, alright, now I mentioned a second ago a little move from the 6th step. Can anyone remember what it's called? I think my house is falling over. The floor's going that way. Anyone remember what it's called? First step of the 6th step. Who remembers? It's a clue. First step's in the 6th step. It's in the step through, right? Never mind. So we have the step through. So in the 6th step, if you would start from here, you would go right. So that would bring us all the way around. But the very first step there is called the step through. Now we've got this kind of like doorway or bridge shape here, and this leg steps through there and comes to here. So step through being that shape there. So from there, if you do the step through, you can just bring the other leg and step through to here like we were just in a moment ago. I hope that makes sense. So we'll just show you with the step through added in instead of the knee slide. So we go. Charlie rock, kick and step back, step through, sit down. Alright, so just make sure you've got to here. Now, next up, a little bit nicer coming out of the slide if you can get it, or a smooth entry to this position. So, next up we have our all-time favourite in class. We do it all the time, but again, if you're new, any other guys like Rory especially, I don't know, everyone has seen this, but perfect chance to practice, right? That way, as many times as you can, all that sort of thing. Remember, we keep practicing the individual moves so that when we put them in things like this, you're just flying with them and you're ready to rock, right? You don't have to figure them out in the routines. But anyway, that's what I'm here for, to keep you right. So, we're going to go from here and make sure I've got just enough space here, to try this without kicking anything. I will be pulling in my legs, so hopefully it should be alright no matter what. So we're kicking in one leg. This hand is on the floor here, and we're going to kick and spin down. Quite sweaty after that huge warm up, like I said, so I don't know how well we'll get round, but we're going to pull our knees in like this and make sure you keep your feet off the floor as we go around. So that will slow you down as it hits the floor, acting like a brake, so we don't want that. So we're going to go kick, push, pull, and hopefully we have one of these. Okay, I can still get round at least one time. Here's my carpet. Technically this won't work on a carpet because your carpet will be glued to your floor, right? But just so you can see how it should look. See, perfect opportunity to try things at home and experiment. So hopefully we should be able to get the world's first ever carpet tile spin. You've seen it right here first. See, my floor is going that way. Anyway, right, so bottom spin coming up next. So should we go back to the beginning, all the way up to step through or knee slide and bottom spin, alright? So as soon as you arrive, we're going to kick straight into that bottom spin. So you might find, actually, with the knee slide, when you get here, instead of arriving in this position, it might suit better to arrive here, just so we're ready to do that big kick that you need to get straight into your spin. So have a little think about that. Alright, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. We made it. Alright, so here we are. Once more. Here we go. How is it dancing at home then? How are you finding this? Is it working for you? If you had to change some things, let us know how it's going. Anyway, here we go. Sorry, music like this makes me just want to go crazy, so hopefully I don't get distracted and stick with the routine. Here we go. Are we ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. We go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Good and round. 6, 7, 8. Here we go. Big kick now. You with it? Cool. Hopefully that's everyone here. If not, whoop, press pause and then rewind and try again. Alright? So try it a little bit faster this time. This is a fast tune, so it's getting me keen to try it just a little bit faster, nothing crazy. And we'll see how it goes. Are we ready? 5. Cool. Just get there. Nice one. Doing well, keeping in the space, people. Excellent. Alright, so moving on. So we've got the bottom spin. So straight after the bottom spin, we want to face back to the front. So one spin is perfect, right? If you get to 2, excellent. But so we're going to get back to here. We stop. Like this. So maybe bring your knees up a little bit and try and land in this position here. A nice comfortable shape. And we're going to keep travelling the same direction. So we're going to spin. And then the next part's going to travel that way too, but your feet are going to stay right here. So, next up, we have a little move that was made really popular in the breakdance community in the 90s. A friend of mine I mentioned before, B-boy Archerio, he showed it to me, and he showed it to me where he kind of sort of used a lot was a B-boy called Evo. E-V-O, right? Type that into Google. And you'll see what is basically considered the most legendary b-boy breakdancer of all time in the UK, right? And with kind of, I don't know how to put this into words, how legendary this guy is, Evo, right? Luckily Archie was able to train with Evo back in the day with a crew called the Floor Freaks. They travelled to Germany with a crew of 3 people, Evo, Archie and Brian, maybe one other, I might be wrong on that. And they went and battled in Germany in 1995 or 6. Battle of the Year, right? You can look this up. I have it on my Style Trail YouTube channel. You should be able to find a battle with Battle of the Year. Also the UK Breakdance Championships. I think it's 96 or I think it's 96. These guys are UK Breakdance Champions as well as the Floor Freaks, right? So this guy Evo is an absolute legend, king of the game, smashed it year after year after year after year as #1 b-boy in the UK back in the 80s and the 90s, right? Right up to the late 90s till he kind of faded away and got into other things. So this move comes from Evo, so I'm going to call it a shoulder roll, but just so you're separate from any other shoulder roll, you know, it's the Evo shoulder roll, right? So he didn't invent this move as far as I know, but he kind of used it a lot and made it really popular in his style, and Archie passed it on to me, and I'm passing it on to you. So we're going to go hand, elbow, shoulder, right? So we're going to go like that, hand, elbow, shoulder, these 3 different points down your arm, boom, 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 and then we're going to roll into your back, and then come up on the other side with these same 3 points. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, we're back up, alright? So that should take us round in a count of 8, or if we do it quickly, we do it in a count of 4, or just get round no matter how many counts, alright? So we're going to go round like this, onto your back, so it helps you get your knees up here, lie on your other side, push off your shoulder, off your elbow, off your hand, and back to sitting, right? So we're going to kind of essentially roll around like that, alright? So Evo used to throw that in, like, Evo was a king of power moves, right? I'm not a power move specialist, but he would do like crazy power moves like head spins into flares into windmills, really big dynamic moves, and then just fold round into little small details like that, and it would really, really stand out in his breakdance because it was so different, and it would be smooth and slow, or kind of, you'll almost body pop it sometimes as well. If you have a look on Google, you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, so we've got a smooth rock around, or we can go boom, 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 like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does that make sense? You kind of almost like body pop it all the way around. So we've got the Evo shoulder roll coming straight after the bottom swing. So let's try that together. Kick, spin, and then we're going to add in the shoulder roll, alright? Here we go. Alright, so, does that make sense? I don't know why, you probably see me do this in class, but I make sound effects sometimes when I'm doing the moves to try and help explain it, but I sound like that, like I was just doing. It's just the idea of like, so you can kind of picture and imagine how quickly that moves, or the feel of it, or whatever. So hope you hear these little things. I'm just trying to help describe it for you a bit better. So shoulder roll, Evo style. So bottom spin, shoulder roll, and then we're going to chuck in the helicopter, alright? Now I'm pretty sure you guys all know the helicopter. We use it in warm-up and class quite a lot. Same as the bottom spin really. But let's just make sure we're all on the same page. Again, we're going to test if we have enough space here. So we're going to swing your legs out to the side to start with, like this. So we've got one hip up and one hip on the floor. And again, like the knee slide, you're using the side of the leg to slide on, like that. Alright, so we're going to start from the sitting position, swing your legs round to the side, feet out to the side, and the rest of me facing forward the whole time, right? I'm not going to take my eyes off you, watch, like that. Alright, so from here I'm just going to reach forward, sending the legs round to the back, and I'm going to lie on my stomach and rock off my hip to this position here. Now I'm off the hips here, and I'm in this middle position here, right? Easy peasy. Think of it however you want, skydiving, Superman, whatever helps you remember, alright? Hand at the side, and you're going to pull yourself round, so our legs are now on this side, alright, so we're in this side position here, and the last thing to do is just swing them round to the front, alright? So does that make sense? Hips stay in the middle, feet are going to go round the middle bit like a compass drawing a circle, and they're just going to go all the way around, and the head will always face the front, alright? I start looking up here or here, and we're into something else. So, does that make sense? So I don't need to show that first part, like the bottom spin. I brought my leg out a little bit just so I could get a bit of a kick start. To start the spin a little bit like the bottom spin, to get it moving, and then I can get my hands in here, push off, and roll around to here. So, actually doing all these moves slowly as much harder, right? So once you get the technique, kick into it so you go nice and smoothly, not too much. Remember we'll go here and we're going to circle all the way around as smoothly and as quickly as you can, right? So we have bottom spin, elbows, shoulder roll, and we're going to add in that helicopter 2 times, alright? 2 helicopters. So let's look at that. From here, kick in, push in, spin, are we ready? 5, 4, I hope you like the DJ, so we're going to go kick, around, oh, and then helicopter twice, like so. Alright, cool. Once more, sorry I got distracted with the music changing there, so here we go, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, cool. So let's start it from the top, from the cross step. I think we should go back to the beginning so we're not getting lost how we started this thing. So, are you with me? Here we go. Are we ready? So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go. 2, 3, 5, 6, spin, 7, jump, 8. Alright, Charlie Rock. Kick and step back. Get ready, knee slide or step through. Kick and spin. Make sure you get back to the front. Shoulder roll and helicopter. How was that so far? Yay? Yay? Once more? A little bit slower? Alright, thanks. Here we go. I heard you. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we go. 1, 2.
What we're gonna do right here is go.
We're going to change the music really quick because that goes real slow. And who knows, I don't want it to get like cut off because it's on this song or whatever, right? So, let's try this one. That one's not working. Oh, what have I done? Sorry folks. See this technical problems thing. Oh, I think we've run out of battery maybe. We have. Alright, we are back. Sorry, I told you, technicals. Alright, so we're going to try it to a bit of the soul, jazz, orchestra. Are we ready? Here we go. Are we ready? 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, freeze. Alright, you with me? I'm just going to quickly check the camera, make sure it's still recording. I don't want to have lost all this hard work we've done. Are we still going? We seem to be. Alright, so we're going to add on the next little bit, right? We've got a little bit more to come up and then we're going to pause it for today, alright? We'll add on the next section later on, I guess. So here we go. We've done the helicopters and we're going to add in, let's see if you can hear me alright. We're going to add in what we call a fake backspin, alright? You guys know the backspin, we're going to fake it. So pretend we're going to do it, but not really. Does that make sense? So, again, it might be easier if I put a less sweaty top on just for a second to show you this, right? Because you know what the backspin is, I'm sure, but let's just clear it up so we know, we can see or show you why it's the difference between the fake and the real one. Alright, so, here we go. You ready for this? Here we go. I hope this works. Alright, so we have backspin. Bit sweaty, alright? One more, just to give you the idea. Alright. Just a bit nervous about kicking stuff, so trying to keep it small. So backspin, right? So we're going to fake it so we don't have to worry about that stuff. So what's a fake? Backspin. So we're going to use the same beginning. This kick split or half split. So we've got this leg bent here back at the knee. Toes are still facing that way, like the helicopter. We're on your side almost, right? And we're just going to take that top leg and bend it back with as far as it can go to give us a much bigger kick. Imagine you got a football there, it'd be like, so we're going to do a huge, huge kick to get into a backspin, right? So we're going to do the same to fake it. That's cool. So we're going to have the same beginning, and then we're going to continue as if we're going to go into your back, and then we're normally pull in there, and we're going to sit up again, right? Just at the very end before we spin. So we go kick, kick, and we sit up. So it's similar to the shoulder roll, right? We kind of come all the way back up to sitting, right? Let me show you that one more time. Fake backspin, alright? We made it look like we did it, but we didn't. So fakey there. So we're going to add that on. So we've got bottom spin, we have shoulder roll, we have helicopter twice, and then we've got this fake. Oh no, sorry, we've got the fake backspin, alright? I'm getting confused because I've got this on. That's better, let's try that again. So, we had bottom spin, shoulder roll, we had helicopter 2 times, getting ready to do the fake backspin, so doing kick, kick, round, sit up, and we should get to here, alright? So let's do that fake backspin again. Kick along. And then we're going to go kind of up like that. So watch where my toe is pointing, if you can see it in this. Like that. And I'm following round until I'm leaning on my shoulder and my hip here. So until I turn over. And as I kick the second leg, it's going to twist me round like that, and I'm going to lean on my second hip like the helicopter and use my elbow like we did in the shoulder roll to sit up and bring us back to here. Alright, so all together, kick one, point that toe if it helps, point the other toe, straddle position, V position, sitting up, fake backspin, alright? Like so. So we're going to get to here. And from here we're going to turn over and do a small freeze, and we're going to end, we've got a couple more moves, and we're just going to finish this right off, right? We might as well just finish it, because I realise we've only got two little pieces to add on. So, where were we? To the beginning. Alright, let's find something else. Alright, so, from the beginning we have so we kind of end here, right? It's like the butterfly position. So try and keep that shape if you can, and walk out these legs, and we're going to like lift your hips off the floor, and we're going to turn over, right? If you've done the Zulu spin before, you should know what I mean here. Or even with a cartwheel, actually, your hands do like a cartwheel. We're going to turn over onto those hands. I'm going to keep the shape of my legs and my toes, turn over, come over like that. Does that make sense? So that's one way to do it. Or depending on your spacing or how it feels when you actually do it and get into it quickly, you might get to here and then just stretch that leg out slightly as we go over and do it more like a Zulu spin, like this. So you've seen Zulu spin before, you know what I'm talking about, ignore this next bit, if not, again like Carter, etc. I don't know if you've had time to see these in detail, right? So Zulu spin, knees together, lock that together, hold that shape. This shape here, we're sitting on your ankle, right, on your heel. I'm going to keep this shape here, so if I move like that, then my knees stay locked in this position. So back to what I was saying before, hands like a cartwheel, right? I turn this a bit sideways, maybe you can see better. I'm going to reach out to the side, keep my hips up high. If you've done mountain pose before with Emily or Lisa or MD, it's like this. If you stretch your leg out, the mountain pose is here, right? So we're going to take that foot and bend it at the knee. This is us in Zulu spin halfway round, right? And we're going to keep going and make sure we land here on that toe we were using in the top rock section earlier, on that front part of your foot here, right? Hope you can see that okay in the wee lens. So we have from this position, we're going to go all the way over in this position. It's known as around the world or cannonballs. I've heard many names for this, but we go over like this, alright? Or if you find it easier or smoother as you turn over, straighten this leg out, and we can turn it into Zulu spin. Kind of the same thing, right? Different look, but both will get you over. So the last piece to finish with is a small freeze. So we're going to look at the M freeze, right? The letter M, that shape here should be the shape we're seeing here, right? So like that. So this is the M freeze. We're doing it kind of with two hands flat on the floor, just to kind of show you nice and clearly, and that's a nice way to do it like this. If you're feeling confident or you've got the balance, or you want to look a bit more stylish, you can catch it here, one foot, one hand, maybe grab here, 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 and we can make little positions for freeze gestures, right? Things that make it a bit more interesting than just this, alright? Okay, so we could do it like this as well. It's a bit more awkward and probably not necessarily going to get you into other moves, but it might be a nice position to do a freeze from, but more like a tabletop position. You can hit these as well, right? See what works for you and your ideas. Alright, so we're going to take that over next. So from back to this position, bottom spin, shoulder roll, helicopter, helicopter, fake back spin, we get to here, alright? So we'll turn over, either one of those ways we just talked about. We get into the end freeze here. So we're going to turn over and just catch it as quickly as you can, bang, here. So, does that make sense? Yeah? Turning over, keep doing it that way. Now, it'd be nice to catch the hand and the knee at the same time, right? So, if you can catch that, that'd be nice. Let's show you it with the Zulu spin sort of versions. We'll just arrive around here. We're going to stretch out the leg and do it there, right? So this foot's going to be a bit further away, but we can catch it like that, alright? So this point, we're going to stop. Make that a really clear shape. So it's a nice strong freeze, especially with that very sharp, fast spin. Stop. So that really stands out, okay? So we're going to try that next from the bottom spin, and we'll do it from the beginning, and I'll show you the very last piece, and I'll let you get away from there, alright? So we are here, bottom spin, so we go kick, spin, too many, we go shoulder roll, we go helicopter 2 times. As we come around here, we're going to sit up, and we're going to set up the position like this. Just let that one come out a bit further, leave this one behind, and we can start the fake backspin to here, turning it over, end freeze. Alright? Cool. So that would be a perfect position to end it, but it's an awkward place to kind of stand up from. I guess you can do that, but we're going to give you a little cleaner way to get back to standing in a little moment, right? And one more surprise freeze to come straight out of this one. So, here we go. From the beginning. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just going to wait here in this shape. I made a nice clear shape for 2 counts. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to kick it out and then bring it underneath your knee here to lock it in the back of your knee like you're doing a knee drop. Alright, so we go here and we're going to turn over towards that knee that's up. Hand doing like the cartwheel thing earlier, and this toe here is going to touch the floor. When it does, I'm just going to sit down, kick out. Alright, so I'm a bit close here, so I'm going to move just a little bit to show you that last part. So we go 5, 6, 7, 8, go down, ha. Alright. Here, roll over, sit, down, kick. Again, we've got the half split or the kick split idea here. Top leg up in the air, other one out straight. And I'm leaning here on my elbow, if you can see that there. Alright. Cool. Last part, I promise. So, we're going to go from this side to exactly the same shape on the other side. But we're going to kind of use the helicopter idea to get us there rather than just rolling over like I showed you, right? So we go freeze. So I'm going to take this front leg here and I'm going to swing it back till I get my knees together. I'm going to start to turn it into the helicopter. Now if I keep my knees up at the back, I can come on this hip here, straighten out the bottom one, and now I'm just on the opposite side from the one I was just in a minute ago, right? So if I show you again, you go here, swing that one back and underneath till my knees are together and my feet go up, and then straighten out the bottom one, alright? You could do the same to go back this way, like that. Does that make sense? Yeah? Cool. Alright, so we're going to go to here, very last maneuver. So we're going to swing that in and wrap around your ankle for hook. And we're just going to throw that foot out, land on your toe, turn around and spin up. So we're going to do S kick or spiral staircase, whichever variation you know. Martha, I know you know spiral staircase, right? So you could use that one. So we're going to jump out by kicking your foot out, and kind of landing on your toe, swinging that back leg round, which if you do it quickly should spin you up, and we can jump together to finish. Alright, so I'll just show it a bit quicker. Yeah, so S kick or spiral staircase, whatever version you know, very similar, to bring you back up to standing. I hope that makes sense. So let's just show you the very last part from here, bottom spin to the very end, and then we'll do it from the beginning. Are we ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Get ready, shoulder roll, and then we have helicopter, getting ready to fake backspin, and we sit up, turn it over, and freeze. Hold it, kick out, kick under, turn over, land on the toe, sit down, freeze. switch sides, freeze, kick it back, freeze. Alright, so all we've got to do now is try it from the very beginning with the cross steps. Let's try it to a different song. Let's try it with this on it. First breakdance show I ever performed to was to the original version of this tune. This is a remix, so hopefully this is a bit more interesting. Anyway, here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, how did it go? Did you get it? Alright, last time. Let's turn up the music. Proper old school b-boy music this. Hope it's coming through alright. Here we go. Let's get warmed up. 5, 6, 7, 8. Step up in his house, grab a drink, rocking it for the 02Apr2020 double vision in the house, in the actual house for once. You know how they say that in hip hop? I'm in the house, Dr.Beat is in the house, I'm actually in the house. So I'm assuming you guys are too, unless you're out for your daily jog and you've taken this out with you to practice in the park. You might get away with some of the bigger moves there, right? So, I've had a lot of fun doing that. I have no idea how long we've got left. Alright, so I think for the first one, that's probably enough. I'm sweating buckets. I hope you've had fun. I hope that's got kept you in the loop with breakdance and keeping you practicing while you're out there chilling at home. Sorry it's taken so long once again to get these up and running, right? This just isn't where I normally work, alright? So I'm trying my best. No, my gadgets are really old, right? I've got this speaker that's tiny and old, and this doesn't work, and whatever. So I'm trying my best. That screen was broken yesterday, so I've had to fix it. And now something else isn't working, so, you know, it's how it goes. Anyway, thanks very much. We're sweating buckets here. You've worked incredibly hard, right? I bet you Shay is still right here watching me. Bet you. You better be Shay, right? I'm looking forward to seeing all the improvements you guys make when you've got time with me one-on-one to concentrate and focus on what we're doing here, right? And I hope that gives you a bit of something to get your mad energy going with, because I know what it's like now to get stuck in these walls and finding it hard to stay busy, alright? Without going out your tiny mind. So I hope that's enough for today, right? And we will see you all next time. I'm going to start putting together the smaller videos as well. Look out for them. They should have like mini moves where I just concentrate specifically on one move, different variations and ideas. I might get you to do some combos and little exercises with some of those. So look out for them, and some challenges. Again, people like Leon, Alex, Shay, Marcel, Siddharth, you're all really like Reese. You guys love challenges, right? So try and see if you can stick to these. You never know, right? When you come back, you might be the best in the class suddenly at the mushroom challenge because you just stuck at it every single day with no one else remembered to go back to that video and keep practicing, right? Oh, and for the mushroom challenge the other day, there was one little thing I forgot to mention, right? So this will be the last tip before I go. That might really help get a bit more stability so you can get strong without worrying about falling over too much. So I'm going to just set up a little thing and just show you what I'm talking about. So I need one of these, one of those, maybe one of these. Right, that's probably better balanced that way, right? So what I'm going to do is use that to balance that on, alright? So when I get the mushroom, go back to video 2, 3, the earlier videos, to look at the mushroom face. Again, most of you will know this. I'll do this sideways so you can see it as clearly as possible, right? So elbow, I'm not bothered going into all the details of the move. If you want to check it out, it's in the other video, but so now I can rest my head here and stay in the shape for ages, right? And while I do that, my wrists, these bits, I can mess about here and do quite a lot of moving and adjusting without worrying about falling over, right? Get my wrists used to holding that weight and get strong in these wrist areas, because this will help us for baby freeze, scissor freeze, chair freeze, air baby, and all sorts of other things if we get nice bit of strength on your wrist. Even handstand and things like that. But use something that's lying around to help you get a bit of balance, right? Same thing, we could do it the other way around and use your feet on the other side, right? You get used to just being in that balance here with your toes supported if you're finding you fall backwards quite a lot, alright? So use that to help you. Now here, I can prove to you I've been working hard. You saw how long my head was on that pillow, a few seconds. That is how much sweat we have worked up together today, right? So well done, folks. You've done amazingly. Over and out.